Okay. Thank you so much. My name is Teacher Ben. I want to welcome you to this class. This is Primary 5 class, Yaka Digital Learning Network. I teach integrated science. This is what I teach. So these classes are running. They are free online classes. We decided to have this program so that we keep helping children who are at home right now. However, this program is not going to run throughout the term. It is going to be there for some time, and then it may not continue. So for those who would like to move on and subscribe, they will be in position to do so by subscribing. If you want to have online classes with the teachers, you can subscribe with 500,000 for the whole year. Then those who want to buy their content in Educare, we have that special package for those who just want to have work alone, reading on their own. For the whole year, you can pay 100,000. So that's it. So last week, this is not what we are meant to discuss. Last week, we started the poultry. And we defined the poultry. We also looked at poultry keeping. We also looked at the reasons why people keep poultry. So today we are not going to repeat that. We are going to look at something different, something new. That's what we are going to look at. But still in regards to poultry. Poultry is a very wide topic that we need to be a little bit faster to make sure that we finish that topic so fast. So before we look at what we are meant to look at today, I would wish someone to remind us what we said about poultry. What is poultry? What is poultry? You just need only one person. Yes, Nasha?
Poultry is the rearing of domestic birds or fowls.
That is Nasha. She has said is the rearing of domestic birds or fowls. I see Joshua's hand up. You can also say something.
Poultry is all kinds of birds. Poultry are all kinds of birds kept for a purpose.
Poultry are all kinds of birds kept for a purpose. That could be the best answer that I would take. Why I don't take the other one of Nasha? Because Nasha said is the keeping. If it is not poultry keeping, don't include the word keeping or rearing. If it is not poultry keeping, don't include the word poultry keeping or rearing. If they say what is poultry, simply say these are all kinds of birds kept at home. All kinds of birds kept at home. Only that, maybe for a specific purpose. Then if they talk about what is poultry keeping, that's when you can use the word rearing, because rearing is the same as keeping. As simple as that. So we also went ahead and discussed the types of poultry. We also said that that same question, saying types of poultry, can also be asked in a different way. Someone can say examples of poultry. You shouldn't get confused. When they say types of poultry, you give the same types. If they say examples of poultry, you also give the same examples. Chicken, turkeys, ducks, and so many others. And so many others, as simple as that. So that is what we looked at last time. We are not going to repeat that. I see other people have joined us. Lynette and Jovia have also joined us. We have Benjamin and others, Abigail and others. So make sure when you want to speak, you can raise up your hand so that I can give you opportunity. So today, we are going to look at something a little bit different. Today, we have at least something bigger that we need to cover, and we shall be a little bit speedy. So today, we are going to start with the terms used in poultry. Terms used in poultry. Terms used in poultry. Terms used in poultry. There are different terms that we always use while rearing poultry. Those different terms. So I'm going to be mentioning term by term before I show you the different meanings. So I tell you, I ask you the term, and then you give the meaning of that term. As simple as that. We may not be giving everybody to, when one person gives, we shall say that's good. So let's start with the hen. What is the meaning of the word hen? Because that word hen is one of the terms which are used in poultry. Hen, by show of hands. Yes, Nasha.
Adult female.
Adult female what? So Anasha said that a hen is an adult female, which is correct. It is an adult female, but you also need to know that it is an adult female chicken. So let's move on to a cock. She's correct. Let's move on to a cock. Who can tell us what a cock is? Joshua?
Adult male chicken.
Adult male chicken, correct. Let's move to the next one, and that is cockerel. 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 I see only one person's hand up, and I'm going to give her. Yes, Nasha.
A young male from 8 weeks onwards.
A young male from 8 weeks onwards. As simple as that. I saw Shalom's hand also up. Is that the same answer you wanted to say?
Yes. A crocodile.
Continue.
Is a reptile.
A cockerel is what? Is a reptile, right? Not really. Today we are looking at birds, poultry. So all the answers that you should be giving should be in regards to poultry keeping. A reptile is one of the animals, the cold-blooded animals, a group of cold-blooded animals. And we shall look at that in primary 6 when we continue. Yes, Lynette?
A cockerel is a young male chicken.
Young male chicken from 8 weeks onwards, just as Nasha said. So let's move on to another. That is capon. 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 Yes, I'm now looking for those who did not say anything. Capon. We have Samantha. Please, what is capon?
A small female chicken.
Not really. Not really. We have Shalom. Shalom, your hand is up.
A small female bird.
Not really? Okay. Let me give this chance to Joshua. Yes, Joshua?
A crested male chicken.
Yeah. Pronounce that word in a wrong way, but the answer is correct. I want to give Nasha to tell us. Joshua said it right, but the pronunciation of that word is not correct. Yes, Nasha. What is
A castrated male chicken.
Come again? Layers and so on. So I think we need to move on because we have a little bit much to cover. Let's take a look at these words. Let's discuss them together. We can discuss them together faster, so that we can move on. So terms are used in poultry rearing. One is an adult female, a chicken. The other one we talked about a cock, adult male, chicken. You move on to the cockerel. This is what we're talking about, a young male from 8 weeks onwards. Capon, this one is a castrated male. This one is a castrated male. Those who would wish to write, I will send you this work, just to concentrate. I will send you this work, all of it, then you can copy in an organized way. Because if you start copying right now, you will make mistakes because you will speed. So I will send you the work later. So you ask your parent to give you the phone or laptop. Let's move on. We also have the, who can read for us this? Yes, Alia.
Pullet.
Pullet. What is the meaning of the pullet?
Pullet, young female bird above 8 weeks onwards.
Young female bird, correct? Let's move on to another, a chick. Who can read for us this? What is the meaning of the chick? Yes, Joshua?
Very young birds.
Very young bird, a very young bird. This one, because we just said chick, it is supposed to be very young bird. If it is chicks, very young birds. We shall correct that. So we still have very many terms that are used in this. So we have intubation. This one is very serious. You need to be able to give the definition of intubation because it is common. They will ask you, what is intubation? So when we continue, we shall be looking at that. When we continue, we shall look at that, what intubation is and all conditions that favor intubation and so on. Yes, Salome, can you read for us what intubation is? What is intubation?
Intubation is the process by which an egg is given necessary conditions to hatch into chicks.
As simple as that, to hatch into chicks. So let's move on. The answer that is the right answer, and everyone should be able to do that. We also have molting. Molting is there. I need someone, Shalom.
Molting. Molting is the process by which the bird shades their feathers to replace them.
Correct. So when we ask you in the examination, be able to give the right answer. We also have culling. Culling is applicable everywhere. We have culling. Make sure you're able to speak at least something. Don't go get out of this place without saying anything. We have that one, culling. Who can read for us that one? The good thing everyone here is able to read. So I'm going to be picking people randomly. Stacy, can you read for us that?
Culling, removal of unproductive or unwanted birds from a flock.
Correct. Culling is the removal of unproductive, unwanted birds from the flock, which is very, very correct. What is brooding? It's also a common thing. What is brooding? What is Brooding. I see very many hands up, but the common hands. I needed who has not said something. Benjamin has not spoken. Justin is here. I see over baby is baby something. I don't know. Baby something. Can you say something? Read for us that. Baby is back. Yes.
Yes, sir. Brooding, giving special care to young chicks.
Giving special care to young. As simple as that. As simple as that. So they can ask you that question. What process is given to, or what name is given to the act of giving special care to young chicks? What act is given to giving care to young chicks? This we also have a brother who can read for us this one. Brother. Very many hands up, but I'm looking for those who have not said the word. There is Babie Ziza. Babie Ziza, I see your hand up. You can read for us that.
A special structure where requirements are provided to keep young chicks alive.
There is something is perfect. And I don't know why there is some echo that is causing disorganization. Let me have read for us that. Nasha, can you read for us that?
Roger, a special structure where requirements are provided to keep young chicks alive.
To keep young chicks alive. This is just a structure where requirements are provided to keep young chicks alive. You don't need a hen, but you just need an artificial brooder. You need that machine that should be able to provide the necessary conditions for these chicks to keep alive, as simple as. So that is a brooder. We also have debeaking. As we continue, we shall know more about debeaking. Debeaking is the shortening of the upper part of the bird's beak. Shortening of the upper part of the bird's beak. That is what we call a debeaking. As simple as that. So those are a few terms that we have used, we have decided to give, and poultry keeping. But there are still very many other terms that you're going to meet. They can ask you terms like cannibalism, they can bring an incubator, they can bring layers, broilers, and so on. But it's good that as we continue in the next lesson, we should be looking at types of chicken, and we shall get to know what broilers are and also what the layers are, and so on. I see Shalom's hand up. Anything? Okay, so let's move on. So we are going to look at a different thing. This is the importance of each part on a bird. Importance of each part on a bird. As simple as that. This one, we have, most of us know what a bird is. We know what a bird is. And I would love to stop sharing, and then we shall be able to see what a bird is. I would love to share my screen again, and then we see what a bird is. Then we shall try to look at different parts. Then we shall give the importance of those different parts. Shall give the importance of those different parts. Shall give the importance of those different parts. I have here two diagrams. There is this one. I hope everyone is now able to see my screen. But before this one, we are first going to look at this. Yes. Is everyone seeing this cock?
Yes.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
good. So,
Yes.
so make sure you follow the cursor. I'm going to be pointing out different parts, and then you mention the name given to that part. Like if you can follow my cursor, what name is given to this part that I'm pointing at?
Big.
The big.
Good.
Big.
Yeah,
Big.
that is a
big.
big. Yeah, I'm going to now start asking you to mention to raise your hand. Then this one, Stacy, can you tell us this one?
Comb.
Correct. Let me have this one. Lynette, can you tell us this one? Let me have Shalom.
Water.
Correct. What about this one here? This part.
The wing.
These are the wings. What about this behind part here? If you can see this, let me see who should tell us. Yes, Salome.
Tail feathers.
Those are tail feathers, as simple as that. Then there is this part. Are you seeing this part?
Yes.
So which part is this? You see three people have raised their hands. Lynette, which part is that?
Spur.
Come again?
Spur.
Correct. That is the spur. So we are going to look at the uses of those different parts. There are very many parts, but we shall look at the uses of those different parts. Like when you look at this, the structure of this cork, you'll get to realize that there are very many parts that have been named.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes?
I'm not seeing the structure.
Come again?
I'm not seeing the structure.
You're not seeing what?
The structure on the chicken.
Hey, sorry. I have shared my screen. I don't know whether it is the same to the others. Is everyone seeing, are others seeing my screen?
Yes,
Yes.
teacher.
Yes.
Yes.
Teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
Yes.
So the rest, you have to check the connections, how it is. So this is the structure of a cork, and these are the different parts. So we are going to look at the importance of these different parts. We shall look at the importance of these different parts. So you'll allow me to unshare, then again share my screen so that we can continue with the importance of these different parts. So that we shall continue with the importance of the different parts. Importance of different parts. And the first part here is the spur. What is the use of the spur? we say that the use of the spy is just for protection. When they are fighting, they always use the spy for fighting. They use the spy for protection. I see two people have raised their hands. If there is something, I see Shalom's hand is still up. What's the problem? Or mistake? You simply say it is used for protection. Then the other one is the beak. Another word to mean beak is just bill. So what is the use of the beak? Let's take a look at these uses. I know we know these are different uses. Let's go faster. I see Shama's hand up, but these are the uses. One is for picking food. The other one is for defense. The other one is for building their nests. So these are the uses of the beak if they ask you to give. And the good thing, we always ask you to give only one use of the beak. It's very simple. You can say for picking food. Another person can say for defense. Another person can say for building their nest. A nest is a house of birds. A nest is a house of birds. That's one work. Then lastly, they also use it to clean and arrange their feathers. To clean itself and arrange its feathers. As simple as that. Some will just say to print. As simple as that. But for me, I would advise you just only say to clean itself. If you don't want to say to clean itself, you can say to arrange its feathers, or for defense, for picking food, for building their nests, as simple as that. So those are the different uses of the beak. You'll write that later. You want to cover something a little bit much so that you can write it later. Then the other one is we are still continuing with the very parts. The other one is the toenails. These ones are called claws. In primary 6, we shall look at classification of animals, and we shall look at birds again, and we shall get to know the claws. We have different claws. Birds have different claws, which they use for different reasons. But specifically for these hens, they use their claws for scratching food, to scratch food. If they ask you the use of the toenails of a cock or of a hen, simply say for scratching. Simply say for scratching food. My laptop is almost getting off, but I'm going to charge it. Put it on. So we said that to scratch food, that's correct. And also lastly, they also use their claws for defense. Then the other one is the comb or wattle. This one is used for identification. When you look at the hen and then the cock, you get to realize that the hen has a small comb and also it has a small wattle. When we continue, we shall look at the differences between a hen and a cock. And one of them is a hen has a worm, while a cock has continuing feathers. We also realize that these birds have got feathers. So here now I want to ask people to write. Everyone should write one. No saying, just write it in the chat, then I will see. At least write one. Any one use of feathers, you know. Any one use of feathers? Anyone, and I will be able to see. But besides, I see Aliyah. Aliyah's hand is up. Please say something.
They protect birds from cold or harsh weather conditions.
That one is correct. Salome, I see yours is also up. And then Shalom, even Shalom's hand is up.
To
As simple as that.
be kept warm.
Come again?
Keep themselves warm.
To keep themselves warm. That is right. To keep themselves warm. So Samantha said to keep themselves warm, correct? Salome also say, oh, Salome. Salome has not been hearing us. That's a problem. I think maybe you need to turn I think you need some guidance there to be able to hear us. Even Abigail was not hearing us. For warmth, Josh also said for warmth, correct? Salome for flight, correct? Stacy, they cover the bird's body, correct? And keep them warm. Then Lynette said for body shape, that feathers give birds a body shape, which is very, very correct. Thank you so much for those good answers. One of them is for identification, which nobody mentioned, but you can use them for identification. Especially, you can identify a cock and a hen. A cock has bright feathers, while a hen has dull feathers. It is just identification. And then for courtship, attracting the opposite sex for mating. In case of a cock, can attract. So they can ask you that question when we continue, maybe in P5 or P6. They will say that why do cocks have bright feathers? You simply say for attracting the opposite sex, or for attracting the hen for mating, or you just say for attraction. The answer will be correct. Someone using Techno, make sure you save the child's name so that we can easily call the child to participate. Then the other one is to protect the delicate skin. To keep the bird's body warm. To keep the birds warm, which you already said. For incubation of eggs, nobody mentioned this. So those feathers help also in that way, for incubation of eggs. And then the other one is for brooding their young ones. That's correct. For brooding their young ones. As simple as that. So that is what we wanted to discuss today. The uses of feathers and also the terms used in the different terms that we use in poultry keeping. There are very many terms that we have already mentioned, and I want to urge everybody to be able to master, to read that work very well and be able to master that work so well so that you pass the examination. So in case they ask you to give the uses of these feathers, be able to mention them. We always ask you to give only two. Give two uses of feathers. And we have others. And other uses include for flight. The birds use feathers for flying. You have not mentioned that one. But birds use feathers for flying. So in P6, we shall look at different groups of birds. And we shall also realize that not all birds they fly. There are some that do not fly. Some do not fly. And those ones which do not fly are called flightless birds. In primary 6, we shall look at that very well. So these are the uses of feathers. We said for identification. The other one is for courtship, for protection, to keep the bird's body warm, for intubation, for breeding, for flying. All those are uses of feathers. Then lastly, you can also say to provide body shape to birds. As simple as that. As simple as that. The other thing that we talked about is this, the different parts of the bird, which include the toenails, the comb, and the wattle. All those ones, you know them. You looked at them very well. The spur, the beak, you know the uses of all those parts. As simple as that. Then the first part that we started with was the other one, the different parts that we use in the different parts. These other parts. These are the parts that we started with. For those who came late, we looked at the terms used in poultry keeping. We have the adult female, which is a hen. Then we also have the adult male chicken, which is called a cock. We have the cockerel, which is the young male from 8 weeks onwards. The capon, castrated male. The pullet, this one is a young female. The chicks, and so on. So those who would wish to have this work you can access it in the website. It is there. It is a matter of you speaking with them, the technical team, and then they can give you access to this work. Then you read at home. When you meet with Teacher Ben, you just come and ask me questions that I don't understand this. And then we continue like that. So that's it that's it for now. I want to thank everybody for the good participation that you really showed. I want to thank everybody. Stacy, thank you. Shalom, Samantha, Salome. Omo Francis, I just think he joined us a little bit late. If he's going